It's my turn now, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
Whatcha Readin?
You caught me. I was throwing a few. I was a little chilly here tonight, so I was going to throw a couple of these on the.
We do not.
You shouldn't do that. You know why you shouldn't do that, everybody? Because of this book right here, Fahrenheit 451. Now here's the deal, everybody. And this is my copy. I've had this for many years. I've read this this very copy about 20 times. Here's the deal. Eventually, you're going to wind up having to read this in school. More than likely, although maybe not. Maybe they're getting away from that. But that's not where I was first exposed to it. Actually, the first, Ray Bradbury was the author here. And you should read all of his books. They're all wonderful, by the way. This is a good gateway book into his type of writing, though. And what it's about is about essentially burning books. But it's about so much more, and that's what's great. And that's what makes a great book great, I think, is that it is about...
How does he write?
How does he write?
Is he an evocative writer?
He is. Actually, his manipulation of metaphor is really exciting. And... much more eloquently than I'm talking about it here, certainly. And there are passages in here that I think will stay with most readers for a long time. And some of it'll evoke many things, both laughter and sadness and rage. People can use a book like this certainly to get angry. Because, again, on the surface you think, well, it's about burning books, but in fact it's about maybe more the avoidance of reading, which is even more dangerous. And that's something we don't like here at the library. That doesn't work for us. And the dangers of having essentially not an illiterate, but at least an ill-informed society, and a society that worse is not curious. And that's what's great, I think, about a lot of books. And the need to read is usually stems from curiosity, which I'm sure Kaitlyn would agree with.
Yes, definitely. I'm a very curious person, and I read
I work with her, believe me. She's a very curious person.
Can you give us a plot summary?
I can, but I'll do it really quick because it's one of those plots that's just like, it's about in the near future. Not exactly a specified future, but although some have figured later on in later editions, Bradbury said it's 2049. It's coming up. There are firemen, and you think, oh, firemen, that's great. If there's a fire in town, they roll over and they put the fire out. No, these firemen actually start fires. They get when their alarm goes off, that means someone has stumbled upon a cache of books, and books are verboten, books are illegal, books cannot be in this particular culture. And their reasoning behind that is that they feel that people who read books will not lead a happy life because they'll learn things that they shouldn't learn about. Why can't you just be happy with the surface stuff? And they have interesting, Ray predicted many things, like, that big TV, you may even be watching me on one of your big TVs right now in your house, which is great, by the way. But anyway, in this particular world, everyone's wall is a screen, and you are part of the TV shows. So every night, the lead fireman, Guy Montag, his wife just gets lost in these almost, I would say, reality shows. They're not actually referred to as such, but it feels like she's watching reality shows, and she's part of that reality. Every night she has to get there and turn all the screens on in her house. They only have 3 in their house. She wants them to work hard, extra hours so they can get a 4th, so she can be totally enclosed by these screens and by this world. But she has to get there on time and turn the screens on to say hello to Aunt Martha and Grandma Sue and all these screens, and she's part of that world. So yeah.
Sounds like she was looking for a book, couldn't find one.
Isn't it interesting? In fact, Guy, at some point, without giving too much away, Guy starts to get curious himself. He actually meets a very strange 17-year-old girl who lives up the block who asks what he considers to be weird questions because she's interested in his life. And he's like, what a strange person. Why would you be interested in somebody else's life? Well, she and her family are considered sort of troublemakers in the block, too. And people kind of stay away from them because they sit on their front porch and talk to each other at night. They don't sit in front of their screens. So that's that's kind of interesting too. And so eventually, Guy does bring a book home, and it's just treated as such a type of thing. So yeah, very, very interesting. But look, you're going to have to read this book at some point. More than likely in school, either not, if not in high school, possibly in middle school, maybe in college. Get a jump on him. Read it, grab it and read it by yourself, because I think even if you don't love all of it, and I can admit to some of Bradbury's weaknesses, the middles of his novels, he's a great short story writer. If you can catch up with his short stories, well, that was his main kind of strength. So he has very few novels. He only has like 3 novels to his name, and 2 of the novels are basically a collection of short stories. The Martian Chronicles is just a collection of short stories. So the middles of his books can get a little baggy, and so if you can power through that stuff, I think it'll make you even more curious about his work and others.
Bright side, it's only under like 300 pages.
It's quickie.
So it's
180. I mean, it's actually almost like it's more of a novella. So power right through. The interesting thing, and I'll leave you with this thought, I guess, is that later on, Ray was asked on various, do you think we're going to wind up in a society where books are burned? And he said, well, no, something worse happened. We're living in a society where books are ignored.
On that note, I'm going to go not ignore some books right now.
This is what we do.
I told you I'd get you for one of them.
I cannot believe now I see the cameras in the other hand now. I'm getting you next. Thank you, Kaitlyn. I won't burn him, I swear.